clear for a 6-yard gain.
Tracy King, he's the guy that's a bread and butter runner. And watch the replay. Tracy King takes the pitch. This is a bread and butter play. Maso Moon, 27, comes into your picture, throws a good block on number 46, and that helps Tracy King to get that yardage. So it's 2nd and 4 or so now.
2nd down and 4. Ball at the 27-28-yard line. Davis to the right side. Maso Moon comes left, and you look at Chuck Delaney. Now Moon is in motion. And timeout has been called. Delay of game. It's a 5-yard penalty, no timeout. They simply took too long. So they'll mark off 5 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down and 9. Here's the indication. Delay of game took more than the allotted 25 seconds.
You know, Vern, Coach Maurer told me that Chuck Delaney has to have a good day if they're to win. Last week against Widener, truthfully, he had a bad day.
What did he say about him yesterday? He's an awful practice player?
Exactly. Drives him crazy in practice. But when it comes to game time, he does it. 2nd down and 9. Here's Delaney with the pitch. It's a bad one. King has to go back and squat on the football all the way back at the 40-yard line. It's a loss of 7 yards. Don Kleinhammer came up to make the tackle on Tracy King. There's a look at Delaney. Now the play is brought in by number 65, Tony Ramsey. They'll alternate guards. Scott Benson and Tony Ramsey will be bringing the plays in and out. It'll be 3rd down and 16. Moon is to the right side, Davis to the left. Tight end Dave Frazier is tight right. Moon in motion, straight drop back pass. Has a man open, that's Davis. 1st down at the 15-yard line, fumble. And now they say he did not have possession of the ball. He did not retain possession of the football. We'll look at it again. Straight drop back pass. Now remember, he's only 5'10". Here he moves around in the pocket a little bit, delivers the ball on the money to Cliff Davis. And Davis takes a hit right. Ooh, that hurt, and coughs up the ball for an incompletion. Cliff Davis is his money receiver. He's averaging 25 yards a catch, and he has 25 catches coming into today's game. That's an oddity to see Cliff Davis drop a ball. Dave Miller is on the punt. He kicks it deep. Jim Duncan is back there, and it's a rather poor kick, but it is inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So the Wittenberg drive stalls, and Ithaca has the ball for the first time. We are in Phenix City, Alabama. We have 11 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in a scoreless first quarter. We'll be back right after this.
Mr. Goodrich, there's a clunking noise.
Wittenberg and Ithaca, first quarter, and Ithaca's got the ball for the first time. The quarterback is Doug Benchko. He's a senior. Army-Navy game coming up at the conclusion of our game, one of the oldest rivalries in college football, and you'll see that next, of course. First down 10, split backs behind Benchko, John Nicolo and Bob Ferrigno, 22 and 30. The handoff to Ferrigno, and he plunges across right guard out near the 22-yard line. Dale Bradford, number 45, made the tackle. Here's the quarterback, Doug Benchko. John Nicolo, only 5'8", 170-pounder, but a great athlete. Bob Ferrigno is the fullback. Barry Jarvie, a flanker. Jim Duncan at wide receiver, and Jim Meyer at wide receiver. We expect to see Ithaca go with the 3 wide receiver offense most of the day, and they're doing that right now. 2 to the left side, and Duncan is split wide right. Wide splits in the offensive line. Ferrigno again, room to run. He's got a first down plus, and is finally tackled by John Saxon at the 34-yard line. Bill George, an all-conference center for the 2nd year. Number 53, Kirk Jonah is the left tackle. Chris Hardy, the left guard, wears number 68. Tim Downs is the right guard, wearing number 64. Alan MacDonald, the right tackle, he wears number 73. First and 10, Ithaca at their own 34-yard line. Two wide receivers right side. Benchko pumps once, now pops it across the middle. It's dropped at the 50-yard line, intended for Jim Duncan. The defensive play made by number 18, Roger Brown. Defensive line, Jeff Manchester, Joe Govern, Sam Baker, the nose guard, Kim Crow, and Mike Dowds. The linebackers, Dwight Porter and Dale Bradford. And the defensive secondary, Bill Beach, Roger Brown, John Saxton, and Dave Burchard. It's second down and 10. 2 wide receivers right side, 1 split left. Split backs again. Handoff goes to Ferrigno. He cracks it open. He's got a first down at the 45-yard line. Roger Brown makes the tackle. This program is being brought to you as an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Now let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
WENY, TV 36, Elmira.
13th year as the head coach at Ithaca College, 80, 40, and 1. His mom and dad live in my hometown of Dallas, and they're here for the game, and I had a chance to meet them last night. First down and 10. At the 45.5-yard line. Benchko with a handoff to Ferrigno, and he is struck down at the line of scrimmage. Sam Baker, number 53, was a part of it. Number 76 is Mike Dowd. 73 is Joe Govern. Here comes Baker now, coming to the near side. He's a 5'11", 200-pound senior from Bucyrus, Ohio. He is out, and Chris Fields comes in. They go in what they call a 40 split defense, right, John?
Looking for the pass here. This is their adjustment to the passing game of Ithaca's. An extra defensive back, nose guard out, play with 4 linemen.
5 defensive backs in. And Benchko takes too much time. That'll be the second delay of game call here in the first quarter, which has 9:20 remaining.
The thing that Wittenberg was worried most about, you look at Ithaca and they have developed this year consciously a strong balanced attack. And they have an excellent passing attack. The place where Wittenberg is suspect is in the defensive secondary, so you have a strength against a possible weakness, and that was worrying Coach Dave MAURER.
Let's see what happens now as that strength goes against the weakness on second down and 15. 2 wide receivers right side. Benchko on the roll. Has plenty of time, and he can keep it. He's at the 45 and is jolted down up at the 48-yard line. Tackle is made by Bill Beach, number 28. Coming up Monday night, live 9 o'clock Eastern time, the Oakland Raiders. Well, we'll look at it again.
This is a run-pass option here, and Doug Benchko decides to take it. He's an excellent runner with great speed in the open field. Here, Beach puts it to him. You love to get a hold of a quarterback when you have him in the open field as a defensive back, Vern. You love it.
He's got a gleam in his eye, folks, I can tell you. John Dockery, a cornerback on the Super Bowl champion New York Jets. Benchko flips it out for Niccolo, and he is hit and fouled at the 50-yard line by Bill Beach, a sophomore from Johnstown, Ohio. It'll be a punting situation. Coming up Monday night, live 9 o'clock Eastern time, critical game for both teams, the New Orleans Saints and the Oakland Raiders. Oakland still with playoff aspirations, and New Orleans, of course, tied with the Rams for the NFC Western Division lead. That's live 9 o'clock Eastern time over most of these ABC stations. Dave Whalen is on to punt, and Chris Fields will return it. There's a look at Whalen and a look at number 10, Chris Fields, who had a 39-yard punt return last week to set up the victory. Nice high kick by Whalen. What a beauty. Fields calls for the fair catch, lets it bounce, and it is stopped at the 1-yard line. Nice down play.
Vern, that's a great play. That's what you're told.
Bob Cam Beach made the stop. A 49-yard punt. Wittenberg's got the ball, but they've got it 99 yards away. The Ithaca bench doing some celebrating. We've got 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in a scoreless first quarter.
Just a couple of animals who can only play football. We can be civilized too. Tennis is sophisticated, but you still got to be fast on your feet. So we still drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling. And it really tastes great. Now that we played singles, we're looking for a nice, friendly game of doubles. Tennis, anyone?
Oui. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Fidelity Electronics introduces the first chess game that not only thinks, but also speaks to you.
I am Fidelity Chess Challenger. Your computer opponent enter your move.
It's a point that coaches make all the time. Watch Bob Campese here tap the ball as he's going into the end zone. If he had grabbed that, Vern, it would have gone into the end zone and been a touchback. Instead, it's on the 1-foot line. Great field position for it from Ithaca's point of view. Terrible for Wittenberg.
It was Tony Fusel who actually stopped the ball, but Campese made it possible. Now here's the quarterback keeper, Chuck Delaney. It's about 2 or 3 out near the 4-yard line. John Laper, number 47, and Harry Moss, number 33, make the tackle. Your options are somewhat limited when you're on your own 1-foot line.
Very limited. But they have an excellent rushing game, so that, you know, they should have some success down here.
You see number 63, Scott Benson, bringing in the play, and Tony Ramsey comes to the bench. Dave Maurer will chat with him and send the next one in. Here's Chuck Delaney, the quarterback. He still got it. He will keep. He's down at the 6-yard line. Tackle is made by Tony Smith, a senior from Poughkeepsie, New York, number 46. It'll be third, and still a need of about 4 yards for the first down. There's a look at Tony Smith. 4 interceptions for the year.
Probably a wise choice, Vern, on that play. Too much ball handling and pitching down the end zone. So early in the game, the score is zip-zip. You don't want to give the other team a touchdown right here.
Ball is at the 7-yard line. It's 3rd down and 4. Wittenberg. We've got no score with 6:38 to go first quarter. Delaney still has it. He is caught short of the first down near the 10. Bill Rosecrans, number 58, made the tackle. There's Dave Maurer. Came to Wittenberg in 1955 under Bill Edwards and has been there ever since. 25 years, the last 10 as the head coach. What a record he's got. Gee, many Christmas. 4th down, and Dave Miller is on to kick. He's been having a rather poor year. His first kick was 22 yards. See what he can do now from the end zone. Jim Duncan is the deep man. Here's the kick, not a very good one. Bounces, gets a Wittenberg roll, but tremendous field position now for Ithaca at the 42-yard line. So the Bombers have the ball, and coming up after our ball game this afternoon, the Army-Navy game, first played in 1890. This is the 80th time those two teams have met. Army's won 37 games to score, and that's next after our game. 1st and 10, split backs again. Bench go, will throw. Looks for Duncan, fires it out. No interference call made. There was contact, I think, John. Roger Brown was the defensive back of the play.
You know, it's one of those situations where the defensive back has such a great position that he just couldn't get through the receiver. Roger Brown was in perfect position for that out pattern.
Those young ladies made the trip down from Ithaca, New York. I heard on the radio last night that it was snowing in Syracuse. It's gorgeous here, folks, those of you who are watching back in that part of the country. 1st and 10. Benchko still has. Now pitches back. It's a bad pitch. And a scramble for the football. Wittenberg has it. Joe Govern made the recovery, number 73. Some of the folks are down here from Springfield, Ohio. There's the senior from Macedonia. We'll look at it again.
His Benchko. He rides his Nicolo into the line. Here he has a decision to make. He maybe made the wrong decision. Might have turned it up there and gotten some yardage. It's easy to second guess from up here. Ferrigno just couldn't get to the ball. Wittenberg recovers. A big break for Wittenberg.
1st down 10. And all of a sudden, they've got new life at their own 49. The pitch back goes to Tracy King. He is in jail and caught and dropped back at the 48-yard line by Tom Kleinhammer, a senior from Webster, New York, number 21.
And Kleinhammer's had his problems. They were worried that he might not be able to play today. Last week, he went in to try and block an extra point and got injured in 3 places. His knee, his extended elbow, and back spasms on one play. So they were worried about number 21 today. It's really good he's out there because it's a real drop-off after he leaves.
5:08 to go, first quarter, no score. And a 2nd down, 11 now for Wittenberg. That's Meso Moon in motion. Delaney wants to throw under heavy pressure, flips it out. It's caught by Tracy King, but he loses 3 yards back to the 47 as Harry Moss, the senior, had him covered like a blanket. Good penetration that time by the defensive line as well, John.
Good pressure and 2 good mobile linebackers for Ithaca. Morrison, of course, we talked about Laper, number 47. But what strikes me early, Vern, is that these teams mean business. They're out here to play. They're coming after one another. And that's the kind of competition you'd expect in a championship game. There's number 47, Laper.
3rd down and 12. See what Delaney has in mind. He's got a power eye set in the backfield, Meso Moon. Delaney on the roll. Finally fires deep, has a man open. It's Davis for the first down at the 33. That's a young man who has a 25 yards per catch average for the year. 25 catches for 627. And watch this play as John Dockery recaps it.
Here's the mobility of John Laper. Now he comes underneath. I thought he was going to intercept the ball. He goes up for it and just misses it. The concentration on Davis is the thing that's impressive there. He had a man going right in front of his vision, still was able to concentrate and catch that ball.
Slot eye formation. Now Meso Moon in motion wide to the left side. Handoff goes to King, the eye back, and he is caught and dropped after a pickup of a couple by John Laper, number 47, and Jimmy Hoffman, number 66. 31 is Don Phillips, the nose guard, last man up. Jimmy Hoffman, number 56. Laper, the fella you see now on the right side of your screen, 6'2", 218, is not a weightlifter. And his coach, Jimmy Butterfield, says if he'd get on the weights, he might go into the pros and play a long time.
If he's interested in playing pro ball, he'll probably have to do that. He has the speed and mobility to do it. I think he has to develop a desire to do whatever it takes.
Second down, Delaney has a man open, his tight end, and oh, what a hit on Dave Frazier by John Bertino, number 7. He really popped him up around the helmet.
I'll tell you, that's a defensive back loves to get a situation like that where the receiver is extended for the ball and concentrating on the ball, and you're coming up, and you just let him know you're there, because next time he may take a look at you and lose his concentration.
I suppose for defensive guys, it is a game of intimidation, isn't it, John?
Somewhat. You have to get the attention of the offensive receiver every once in a while.
Third down and 8. Ball at the 32. Delaney converted a 3rd and 12 a moment ago. This one is batted down by number 63, Carl Guidati. Or Rick Jordan, number 83. Let's see. We'll check and see which one got it.
Here's a problem that a quarterback that isn't very tall might have, getting the ball up over a defensive lineman here. See? The defensive line is all over him there, but he has a little bit of a sidearm motion, not over the top, and that takes away from his ability to get the ball over a big defensive lineman. And Giudice, put on the good rush and knock that ball down. Best pass defense you can have, Vern.
It'll be 4th down, and Wittenberg is going to go for it. Delaney, run pass option. This is strictly run. He's at the 25, and I don't know. It's going to be very close to the first down. Tom Kleinhammer knocked him out of bounds. If indeed he did not get the first down, it's almost as good as a punt. He is short, I believe. Let's see. They're going to bring the chain across. Well, no, I don't know. It's very, very close. We'll look at it again while they bring the chain from the far side of the field.
You know what I like about Delaney? When the chips are down, he calls his own number. To me, he had run in his head all the way here. It was just a rollout. Blockers all leading him, and he was going for that first down himself. It's going to be really tight. But I think Delaney said, okay, I'm going to win or lose this game on what I do today. And he called his own number, and we're going to know in a moment whether he got it or not.
There's the stretch. How about that? How about that?
By inches.
Were you surprised like I was that they went for it?
Not that much. Both teams have had trouble with their kicking games. If there is a weakness in the kicking on either team, it's in the kicking game. That would have been a long field goal. I like that decision.
So they go for it on 4th and 9 and get it by a foot. I formation, 2 wide receivers right side. Option pitch back to Tracy King at the 20, cut down at the 19 by John Laper, number 47. I don't mean to disparage Canisius College, but I read an article on Laper, and he said he was recruited by only 2 schools. I know, Ithaca and Canisius. He said, why did you go to Ithaca? He says, have you seen Canisius?
I'll tell you, I'm sure a lot of schools wish they had him now. He's developed into a super fine linebacker, one of the best in the East, I'd say.
He's been a 4-year starter. There's a look at Chuck Delaney. It's 2nd down and a long 5. No score in the game. We've got 2:28 to go. Delaney wants to throw. Now he'll keep. And he pays the price for it. He didn't gain much. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Harry Moss made the tackle, number 33, a senior from Fayetteville, New York. Kind of the unheralded linebacker because he's playing alongside Laper. 5'11", 210-pound senior. Also on the varsity lacrosse team, as a number of these Ithaca players are.
Well, that's one of the advantages of playing in Division III. Vern, you can play another sport if you want to play baseball in the spring super or lacrosse. Whereas if you're playing at a big school, football, football, football.
3rd down and 5. Delaney looks straight ahead. Play action. Looks deep for Davis. Davis is in the end zone, tipped away by Mike Biondi, but it's a flag. quarterback, who leads the club in interceptions with 5, and it's going to be pass interference. We'll look again.
Play action, which is their passing game. Ball is well delivered. Biondi comes over the top. Oh, Vern, you know, I'm a former defensive back. If a defensive back makes that kind of a play, I want to see him make it. I don't want to see it given to the offensive player. Hard to tell whether it was or not.
Well, they call the interference play. Power eye set now. No score with 1:40 to go. Meso Moon in motion, wide right. The handoff goes to Tracy King. He's got 6. Touchdown.
Bread and butter, man. Who do you give it to when you get down there? You give it to your big back, Tracy King. He's had 9 TDs going into today's game. That's number 10 for him. Kind of a nice situation for Tracy King. Here he is again. He's big and strong. See him launch himself. That's the kind of a back that you want to carry the ball when you get near that goal line. Last few years, you know, he played behind Davey Merritt, as we mentioned, and really didn't get that much opportunity to play, even though he does have 2,000 career yards.
Here's Mike Downs with the extra point, and it's up and good. 11 plays in the drive, 51 yards following the fumble recovery. So Wittenberg at one point backed up on its own 1-foot line, recovers the fumble, goes in to score. They've got a 7-point lead, 1:37 to go first quarter.
Like it or not, winter is...
They took 4 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock, and Tracy King got the first touchdown of the afternoon on a 1-yard run. Mike Downs, who kicked the extra point, will kick off. There's Terry Jarvie, one of the deep men for Ithaca. And he is joined back there by Jim Duncan, left side of the screen. Mike Downs with the approach. Jarvie has it at the 5. Nice catch. 15, 20, and cut down up at the 24-yard line. First down and 10. Tackle made by Scott Gray, number 51. I have a feeling, John Dockery, that we're going to see some scores today.
I think that might be the case.
Penn State with an early lead over Pittsburgh. 7-0 first quarter.
Because Ithaca does have the ability to throw the ball. Here they come with their 3 wide receivers again. All good receivers, by the way.
Those other 2 scores you saw, Division II semifinals, they play for the national championship a week from today in Albuquerque, New Mexico. First down and 10. Handoff left side, goes to Ferrigno, and Dale Bradford meets him and drops it. They have not used John Niccolo that much thus far.
Which surprises me. Niccolo is one of those scrappy quick backs that can break a big play for you. Ferrigno, though, I think is their bread and butter man. He's had a fantastic year.
Well, indeed, 824 yards for the season, and Niccolo 843. That's the kind of productivity you like out of those running backs. It'll be second down and 8. Benchko, the quarterback, back split behind him. 2 wide receivers right side. Here's the handoff to John Niccolo, and he's out to the 30-yard line. Joe Govern made the tackle, number 73, and Dwight Porter, number 55, came up to help. Young man is 5'8", 170-pounder, a starting shortstop on the baseball team where he hit, what, 333 last year.
You know what, he tells me also that he wouldn't mind playing some professional baseball if he gets a chance. Either that or he'd like to go into coaching. He's really a fine athlete. Every time he touches the ball, he averages over 5 yards a carry, and Ferrigno over 6 yards a carry. So, listen.
Here's Niccolo, first down, up at the 38-yard line on the draw play. The tackle made by Dwight Porter, the sophomore from Cincinnati. And Dale Bradford, number 45, will look again.
It's kind of a sprint draw, a little bit of a counter draw. Get the defense flowing and then come back against the grain and make that good yardage.
First down and 10. Bill George, the center, over the ball. 3 wide receiver offense once again. Benchko being pressured, flips it out, caught by Jim Meyer. And he's got the ball at the 45-yard line.
Doug Benchko is one of those big quarterbacks that can do this kind of thing, throw that quick out. Here the ball is delivered very well on the money. Meyer makes the catch. Meyer's a junior, he's 5'10", and he's had 13 catches this year.
That's the end of the first quarter of play. We've got another 15 coming up in just a second. Back in Phenix City, Alabama, the Division III National Championship game, 7-0. Wittenberg leads, a 1-yard run by Tracy King. Wittenberg cheerleaders down from Springfield, Ohio. It's second down and 2. Ithaca's got the ball at their own 46-yard line. Benchko. Drops back to throw. Pops it out to a safety valve for Rigno, and it's incomplete. Jim Crow had the penetration that forced the incomplete pass, number 78, senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. He's a small defensive tackle, 6'2", 205, but very active in that defensive line.
One of their more active guys. He's an all-conference tackle for them.
Was out most of last year with a knee injury, but has played healthy all of this year. 3rd down and 2, Ithaca at the 46-yard line. Handoff right side for Rigno. Looks like he's got the 1st and 10. Sam Baker, number 53, the nose guard, and Joe Govern, the left tackle, make the tackle on that youngster. Bob Ferrigno from Huntington, New York. He's just a junior, another of the lacrosse players. You know what his hobby is? He considers himself an expert in Japanese landscaping.
Japanese landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 49. Benchko fakes the draw, goes back. Nice overhand delivery, but the pass is high. And good coverage in the secondary by Roger Brown.
Doug Benchko did look good on that play.
1st quarter stats. Take a look at them, John. 5 first downs to 2. Rushing yards are even. The only edge in the passing department. 1 turnover. Time of possession very definitely in Wittenberg's favor.
Penalties don't show on that stat either, Vernon. You know that interference penalty on the goal line is the one that's hurt so far in terms of Ithaca.
2nd down and 10. Here's the throw play to Niccolo. Niccolo breaks 1 tackle, but then runs into Dwight Porter and is knocked down at the 45-yard line. Elsewhere in the country, Penn State now leading Pittsburgh 7-3 in the 1st quarter, and we've got a 3rd down and 5 at the 44.5-yard line. Long count by Benchko. 2-step drop, pumps once across the middle, caught by Jim Duncan. 1st down at the 35-yard line. Dale Bradford makes the tackle, but not before Duncan picks up the 1st and 10.
Watch Doug here. See him look away and then come back. Waits till that 2nd lane clears for Duncan. Duncan was covered on the 1st pump, but he waited long enough till he got into the hole in the 2nd passing lane and delivered the ball on the money for the 1st down.
Leading receiver for Ithaca on the season, 24 catches. It's 1st down and 10 at the 35-yard line. 7-0. 13:25 to go in the 1st half. Hand off to Ferrigno. Bangs down to the 30-yard line and picks up a quick 5. Tackle made by Scott Gray, who's in a nose guard now, number 51.
You know what Ferrigno does well, Vern? That 1st step, when he hits the line of scrimmage and gets the ball, he makes that quick cut at the line to get himself free and to set up that block. Very, very exceptional for running back.
2nd down and 5. 3 wide receiver offense again. This is John Niccolo. Ankle tackle, but he's close for the 1st and 10 at the 25.
You know, Vern, something very interesting. You'll see Doug Benchko take his time at the line of scrimmage. There's a reason for that. But here we see the replay. It's just a straight dive. Offensive line is doing a pretty good job there. Here, Niccolo makes a run, a lot of yardage on his own, but good offensive blocking.
For the day, 23 yards on 4 carries. It's 3rd down, less than a foot. 7-0 game, but Ithaca driving, trying to tie it up. Quarterback keeper, he's got the 1st and 10. Sam Baker, the nose guard, makes the tackle. Great size for a quarterback, 6'3", 200.
Interesting, too. There's a real contrast here. Doug Benchko will take that much time at the line of scrimmage for a reason. He's calling 95% of his plays at the line of scrimmage. He's looking at that defense and adjusting and making his call depending upon what they do.
Well, I'll talk more about that because it's really an interesting concept. Here's the pass play. Pressure is put on. Benchko goes deep. Great catch. Jim Duncan at the 14-yard line. What concentration he showed.
He has receivers. I mean, he has Jarvie Myers and Duncan. Jim Duncan, just a sophomore, and is a game breaker. So watch Benchko. Little fake, delivers the ball, but the real thing here is the concentration on Duncan. The defensive back all over him, a little bit of a bobble, still pulls it in.
2nd down and less than a yard at the 14-yard line. Niccolo First down and 10, down to the 11. Tim Crow makes the tackle. Number 78, number 37, also a part of it. Jim Cobell, junior linebacker who has replaced Dwight Porter. There's John Niccolo. Number 68 is Chris Hardy, his left guard. The Alabama National Guard says howdy. Well, we're glad to be here. First down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Two steps, left side, Myers open, touchdown. Jim Meyer makes the grab, 6 points.
There's Jim Meyer, touchdown. The thing that makes this work, watch bench go look the other way, come back, zing, deliver the ball. If you're a defensive back covering Meyer and you're reading the receiver as well as the quarterback, you see him look away, you don't react as quickly. So that made the play as much as anything else, him looking away and coming back.
Tom Donning will try and tie it up now. The snap a little high, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 10 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play, and we are tied in Phenix City, Alabama, 7-7. We are back, and let's look at the touchdown play once again. John Dockery.
Doug Benchko is picking on a defensive back there who is one-on-one. That wide formation causes one-on-one coverage. He's playing too far off and too far inside, and there's the touchdown to Jim Meyer. 12-yard TD to tie the score.
Now Tom Donning will kick off. The deep men are Maso Moon and Dana Williams. There's a look at Maso Moon. Relatively short kick. It'll be Williams at the 18. Williams 25. Williams at the 30. Gets a block from Moon. Now he's knocked down. There's a fumble and a scramble for it. And Wittenberg recovers. John Bertino made the hit, number 7. Coming up next Saturday on Wide World of Sports, as we look at the 76-yard drive, 15 plays, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Benchko to Meyer to tie it up. And we'll talk about Wide World in just a second. Dave Frazier, number 88, the tight end. First down 10. Wittenberg has the ball at their own 37-yard line. Formation in the backfield. Reverse from Maso Moon is faked. Now Delaney goes deep for Davis. Incomplete at the 38-yard line. John Bertino with a coverage. Jimmy Hoffman had pressure on Delaney. He intended for Cliff Davis. Coming up next Saturday on Wide World of Sports, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, World Cup Boxing Championships featuring squads from the Soviet Union and the U.S., the first time ever for that competition. And from Fort Worth, Texas, the first time the World Gymnastics Championships have ever been held in the United States. It gets underway tomorrow, and you'll see highlights a week from today on Wide World of Sports as it returns after a hiatus of a couple of months for football. Here's Delaney pitching it out wide. Tracy King, 45, 50, down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Tony Smith knocked him out of bounds.
Tracy King showed you some of his stuff here. Good fake. Delaney pitches. The pitch was excellent because King was a little bit out in front and got the ball almost around the end. And here, watch this. Watch 47. Bang. Lets him know that he's around.
Well, I wish you folks could see the gleam in John Dockery's eyes every time one of those defensive backs makes a hit. First and 10. Delaney has it. Quarterback keeper. Couple of yards down to the 43. Tackle made by Harry Moss, number 33. 7-7 game, 10-18 to go.
Vern, are you suggesting that I may be partial to defensive football players out on that field?
I'm emphatically suggesting that, yes, as a matter of fact. John, of course, played his college ball at Harvard, 5 years with the Jets, 2 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then a year that he wants to forget.
The World Football League, yes.
Second down and 8. Pitch out, right side, King. Good force by the defensive secondary. Oh, what a play by Tony Smith. Now, you don't have to show any prejudice when you talk about this play. It was a fine, fine play.
Watch John Laper. He always gets good flow, plays off a blocker, gets up after he's knocked down, and always gets in the action. He'll be around the action. I mean, you may take him down, but he'll be back up on you. John Laper.
North Tonawanda, New York, just outside of Buffalo. Third down and 12. I set. Mason Moon in motion. Delaney is picked off by Mason Moon. How do you like that happen?
Is that planned? Is that play designed to work that way?
Oh. Bill Bianco tipped it. Look at it again.
Watch this again. Mason Moon is just hanging around. The ball is thrown. Bianco tips it, makes a great play to tip it, and Mason, right place at the right time.
Bianco then made the tackle, but it's first down 10. Those are the season stats for Mason Moon. Delaney now is 3 out of 9 for 35 yards. He'll pitch it. Tracy King, hit and dropped by Tony Smith again. Another nice play by the senior from Poughkeepsie, and Bill Bianco was also there. There's Smith. He's got 4 interceptions for the year. This Ithaca team has picked off 32 passes. And they almost had one a moment ago. First down, or second down rather, and 10. 7-7 game, 8:20 to go in the first half of play. Mason Moon goes wide to the left side. Cliff Davis wide right on 2nd and 10 at the 34. Delaney, Moon, incomplete. Good downfield coverage again by Tony Smith, number 46.
Good fake by Delaney. He almost caught them napping in the secondary on that play. Look at the offensive. Wittenberg coming into today's game has been an offensive machine. Their total offense average is 435 yards a game. So it's not an oddity, and it's not unsuspected that they would be able to move the ball to a certain degree against Ithaca.
Third down and 10 now at the 34-yard line. Delaney looks over the defensive alignment. Option play. Oh, nice recovered fumble. Ithaca's got the ball at the 45. Mark Seaman, number 48. Sophomore from Johnson City, New York. And timeout has been called after the fumble recovery from Mark Seaman. Second turnover of the game. We've got 7:57 remaining in the first half of play. Score is tied. Jim Butterfield, head coach, Ithaca, 13th year, graduate of the University of Maine, where he was an all-Eastern Conference guard. And there's Dave Maurer, head coach at Wittenberg, graduate of Denison University, was recruited at Vanderbilt. Said he went down there to look the school over, and there was a guy throwing bullets named Billy Wade. He decided that's not where he wanted to play football.
Might be a smart decision.
So he went to Denison. First down and 10. After the fumble recovery by Mark Seaman. Bench go. Drops back, flips it out, incomplete. John, talk a little bit more, if you will, about this whole philosophy, the concept of calling the offensive plays at the line of scrimmage. It must take a pretty doggone intelligent quarterback.
Exactly right. Jim Butterfield has entrusted the entire offense to Doug Benchko. He'll come up to that line of scrimmage. He'll say in the huddle, check with me on the line of scrimmage. He'll come up, look over the defense, mostly to free safety, and call that play on the line.
You saw him doing that right then. Now the long count. And here's the play. Pitch out. Goes to Niccolo. Niccolo breaks the tackle, gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Tackle is made by Bill Beach, number 28.
Vern, Benchko is not sure. He has to have intelligence. He has to have the ability to read and call the correct play. But his offensive line has to have their helmets on right and their heads on right also, because they'll have to react and call the blocking assignments and schemes and variations also. So he puts a lot on his offensive teams.
It'll be third down and 7 right now. 7-7 ball game. And Benchko wants a bunch. Goes across the middle. The ball is incomplete at the 45-yard line. Intended for Terry Jarvie. And the defensive play made by Chris Fields, number 10. Junior, 5'8", 165-pounder. So Dave Whalen comes on to punt as Ithaca. You look at it again.
The ball is delivered very well. Jarvie had a chance as that. Fields comes on. Fields is that extra defensive back they put in there in passing situations. Made a good play, but that ball was catchable.
He is back in punt return situation now at the 15-yard line. Dave Whalen is on the kick.
Fields has had his problems, Vern. Last year he was excellent, sure-fingered back there, caught everything. This year he's been having a little trouble fielding punts.
Fair catch is called, and the catch is made by Roger Brown, number 18, at the 24-yard line. First half of a doubleheader for you this afternoon. We've got the Division III game here, of course, the national championship on the line. And then coming up at the conclusion of our game, that traditional encounter between Army and Navy. Navy having a very good year. Army under Lou Saban struggling a little bit this season. They're playing in Philadelphia, and that'll be next over most of these ABC stations. Keith Jackson and Ara Parsegian will be at that ball game. First down and 10. Here's the handoff to the fullback, Skip Buckley, and Buckley cracks across the 25. Harry Moss makes the tackle.
Contrasting styles in quarterbacks here. Chuck Delaney, obviously a different physical specimen than Benchko, much smaller. And also the philosophy. Dave Maurer, the coach, decides that he wants to have control of the game, so he sends in every play to his quarterback, Chuck Delaney.
It'll be second down and 7. The 7-7 game. Handoff goes to Meso Moon, the wingback. He's out to the 29-yard line. That's about it, as Don Phillips, the nose guard, makes the tackle.
Vern, I know you're down in Dallas. Do you think a quarterback should have control of the game and call his own plays? I know Landry calls a lot of the plays for Starbuck. What's your feeling on that?
I think the quarterback should call his own plays, yes. Not that I would argue with the success that Tom Landry's had. I know that Roger Staubach feels the quarterback ought to call his own plays. That's been the one thing that has chafed him during his career in Dallas. He's kind of grown accustomed to it, I guess. But here's Delaney back to throw. And the catch is made by Tracy King, but he is short of the first. What do you think, John?
I'm of the same feeling. I think an athlete on the field has his fingers on the pulse and can feel the rhythm of a game, and that's input that a coach doesn't have. He's not out there. So I think if you have an intelligent quarterback and you school him well, you should give him the opportunity to react to the situation that's happening on the field. I couldn't imagine Weeb Eubank calling the plays for Joe Namath.
No, that is kind of hard to envision. They'll bring the chain out to see if they got the first down. Tony Ramsey is waiting there near the number 65, along with John Laper, number 47. Here's the stretch of the chain. Did he or didn't he? He didn't. It'll be fourth down, and the punting unit will come on. Dave Miller is on the punt, and Jim Duncan goes deep. It's 5:45 to go in the first half. Good halftime show coming up. We've got 12 to 13 high school bands from this area that will be performing at halftime. Gorgeous setting here in Phenix City, Alabama, near the banks of the Chattahoochee River. And yes, that is the river of Ode to Billy Joe fame. Snap is back, and here's the kick by Miller. A good one. Dandy punt. Duncan over the shoulder at the 21. 25. Bertino with a good downfield block, and Duncan is knocked down at the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Jason Ballard, number 25. 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first half of our ball game. A fine football game. We are tied 7-7.
Take care of your...
The bands that will be performing at halftime. That camera shot, by the way. Well, thank you from Clyde, New York. Camera shot being taken by Ron Kirk up in the end zone. He says, tell him hello back in Glens Falls, New York. He said, we're going to put him on the map. That's his hometown. And the starting center for Ithaca, Bill George, is from Glens Falls, New York. Split backs on first down and 10. Benchko gives it off to Ferrigno. Ferrigno about 3. Tim Crow makes the tackle. Update you on Pittsburgh and Penn State going on this afternoon. 14-10, Penn State with the lead.
You think that isn't a grudge match, Penn State and Pittsburgh? Ooh.
They're playing that one in State College, Pennsylvania today. Crow is out. It'll be second down and 7. Scott Gray and Sam Baker, 2 nose guards are in. Benchko to Ferrigno. Ferrigno near the 34-yard line. Needs to get to the 35. Dwight Porter with the tackle. And Jeff Manchester, number 49, also helped out. 7-7 game, 4:40 to go first half. 1-yard touchdown run from Tracy King. A 12-yard catch from Jim Meyer. The scoring thus far. 3rd and 1. Just shy of the 35. Benchko will throw. Short, no, he'll keep it. And he does does not pick up the first down. Loses yardage as Mike Dowds, number 76, got in there to cut him down.
An interesting decision here, third and very short, to take it outside where you have the possibility of coming up with a loss, and he does come up with a loss. Bench go.
So punting situation with 3:57 remaining. Dave Whalen is on to kick, and Chris Fields goes back to return it once more. Whalen back inside the 20-yard line. 2 punts thus far, and he's pretty well split the difference. A long one of 49, a short one of 29. Good hang time. Boy, he gets this one way up in the air. Fields has the grab at the 26. Look at the downfield coverage. The special teams work was excellent. Tony Fusero, number 60, made the tackle. There's a look at him, and we'll update you once again on Pitt and Penn State. As that game continues, Pittsburgh has gone on top 17-14 in the second quarter. We are tied at 7. 3:30 to go in the first half. Division III National Championship. Mesa Moon goes wide left. Cliff Davis wide right. Listen to Chuck Delaney. Tracy King, 1 yard. Don Phillips, the nose guard, makes the tackle.
You get a feel that neither team, Vern, has taken control of the game, and it's really, it can go either way right now. I don't get a feel that Ithaca's in control or Wittenberg's in control. A big play could turn that around.
7-7 game would indicate just what John Dockery's talking about. Started off with a lot of explosive action. It's been kind of in a lull here lately. Let's see what happens now. Second down and 10. Delaney wants to throw, has a man open. That's Cliff Davis at the 29-yard line. Skip Buckley, rather. Number 33 instead of 83 is fullback. Senior from Newark, New York.
But it's a little surprising to see Buckley in there this long. You know, he's having a lot of knee trouble during the week, and they really were worried that he wouldn't be able to make it. And Skip Buckley is a guy who's averaging 4.7 yards a carry and is a key part of their offense, an excellent blocker for Tracy King. They were worried that he might not be able to make it. But if you're ever going to make it, it's going to be in a national championship game.
Yeah, you play in this one, right? It's third down and 5. Delaney, play action, has a lot of time, but is flushed out of the pocket and caught short. He'll have to punt. Don Phillips made the tackle. Pretty good downfield coverage by the defensive secondary of Ithaca.
Both teams are excellent defensive teams, and it seems to be turning into that kind of a game. I mean, when you look at Wittenberg, their defensive team now allows about 8 points a game, and Ithaca is no slouch either. They allow about 10 points a game, so they're both strong defensively. The feeling is, when I look at this game, I think the two teams that should be in the national championship are here. Good, balanced overall teams.
Here's the kick from Dave Miller, fairly short. Duncan will let it bounce. It pops straight up in the air and takes a neutral roll to the right side and is finally down at the 34-yard line. So the Ithaca Bombers have the ball back. They've got 99 seconds to march down the field and try and get something more on the board to break the tie. Will not end in a tie. There's a tiebreaker procedure used in the Division I-AA, Division II, and Division III championship games or playoff games. I've seen it before, and it's marvelous. They go to a tiebreaker. We'll talk more about that as the situation warrants later in the game. 2 wide receivers right side, 1 left. Benchko looking deep, fires it deep. Duncan diving, trying the 50, incomplete. Thought he had it.
So did I. That was beautifully delivered, that pass. Watch Benchko here. A little play action fake, not much. Looks back and delivers that ball with authority over the top. Look at that over the top. Right on the money to Duncan. I'm surprised. Duncan's a fairly sure-handed receiver. Beautiful delivery by Benchko.
Benchko is 5 out of 12 for 50 yards. It's second down and 10. Got the ball, I believe. Let's see. There has been no official indication yet. No. Ithaca retains possession. Thought for a moment Wittenberg had the turnover with just over a minute. Chris Hardy made the recovery. Alertly, luckily. Yeah, right. Forget the alert. Thank you. Third down, 23.
Go get him.
take it conservative. Benchko breaks into the secondary. He's down to the 31-yard line. Tackle was made by Dwight Porter, number 55. We've got under a minute remaining in the first half of play, 42 seconds now. And the punt return unit comes on. There's a player down for Wittenberg at the 30-yard line. So the clock has been stopped for the injured player. Not sure. Roger Brown is the injured player.
Vehicle sitting down there and wondering if it was going to be your day or not. I mean, football's a tough game, and I guess that's part of it all. You don't like to admit it, but if you're hitting people and running into people, injury is part of it.
It'll be 4th down now with 42 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's the punt by Dave Whalen. Relatively short this time. Catch is made at the 16 by John Saxon, and he gets out of bounds to kill the clock, and a flag is thrown. We may have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the far side. John Saxon made the kick return. Bob Campese, the tackle. We'll look at it again.
Saxon, you see Saxon heading out of bounds, which you should, and here comes the late hit right there. Sends Saxon into the band.
Tony Fusaro made the late hit, and that 15-yarder means that Wittenberg has got the ball now at the 43-yard line with 33 seconds to go. 7-7 ball game. And here comes Chuck Delaney, the senior quarterback. 2 wide receivers right side, 1 is split left. Delaney wants a look at the football, and they'll make the change as per his request. 7-7 game, 33 seconds to go in the first half of play. Motion from Tracy King. Delaney, quarterback draw. What a play, huh? At the 27-yard line. How about that?
A great play. A great play. Everyone expecting pass. Ithaca playing that prevent defense. And what does Delaney do? Look at the riverboat gambler. Takes a few steps back. Everybody starts to drift. There he goes. Makes a good cut and gets a good block here. Takes it up for a good gain of first down within striking distance for a touchdown, which is 26 seconds left, Vern.
Chuck Delaney in the conference championship game, as you see, 181 yards rushing. John asked him yesterday if he liked to run. He just got a smile a mile wide. Said, yeah, I sure do. 7-7 game, 26 seconds to go. Wittenberg has used one of its timeouts now to kill the clock. They've got 2 remaining. But it's their second timeout they've used.
This is Delaney's second year as a starter. Last year, his team was 10-1-1. This year, they're undefeated, successful quarterback.
9:38 in the first half this afternoon. He's talked it over with Dave Maurer. Getting back in the huddle. First down 10 at the 27-yard line. With 26 seconds to go. And here come the Tigers of Wittenberg University. 2 wide receivers to the right side, Davis and Maso Moon. Flip out to Tracy King. It didn't complete. That almost was a lateral.
Ooh, I think that was a lateral. Very close to being one.
Sure was.
Let's take a look at it again. The motion. He tries to get the ball to King in a hurry. Ooh, very close. I mean, I'm surprised more of the players didn't react. That ball can be recovered by the defensive team.
If that ball is thrown backwards, it's anybody's ball. But it was ruled an incomplete pass. Second down and 10, 23 seconds to go. Moon and Davis right side. And Dave Frazier split wide to the left. Draw play. Tracy King to the 20. Down at the 17-yard line with 17 seconds remaining and timeout called. As they move the chain for the first down, he's for it.
Good call. I mean, everyone looking for the pass. Again, here Tracy King takes it up the middle. Dave Maurer calling the plays, obviously, again. Nice move there. Oh, very quick move. Tracy King, bread and butter.
I'm reminded now of something that Chuck Delaney told. We've got word on Roger Brown, a possible dislocation of his knee. That's the preliminary report. And his ankle is also injured. 16 seconds to go. First and 10, Delaney looks in the end zone. Throws it deep, too deep. Intended for Maso Moon, but it winds up in the tuba section.
Going to try that field goal, it looks like, Vern.
10 seconds to go. They'll not waste the time. Mike Dowds, who won the ball game last week with a 41-yard kick into the wind with 2 seconds remaining, will come on to try and break the tie. Kirby Thompson will hold. There's a look at Mike Dowds. This will be from the 24-yard line, a 34-yard kick that could give Wittenberg the halftime lead. Kick is up. Kick is good. He got it.
Not only good, he should have kicked out another 15 yards. I watched him in practice yesterday, Mike Dowds, and he was hitting them pretty good. Nice kick under pressure. A few seconds left in the half, just 5 seconds. Puts him up. 10-7. Wittenberg ahead, 10-7.
Look at it again. Watch how much power he gets into this kick.
He almost shanks it. 8-7 seconds. 6 seconds, 5 seconds.
5 seconds remaining in the first half of play. And Mike Dowds has kicked his 8th field goal of the year. He is 8 of 12 for the year. And Dowds will now kick off. He's a starting defensive end. Number 80, Jimmy Duncan, is deep. One of the 2 deep men. Terry Jarvie is also back there. 10-7, Wittenberg has the lead with 5 seconds remaining. Interesting. Go ahead, John.
Vern, you have to look for some kind of a squib here. I doubt they kick it away.
There it is. Look at the bounce. Whoops, got it. Jimmy Duncan at the 15-20. Up high and down. 24 yards. I want to have a comment as we look at these.
Fairly balanced. You look at those total yards, and there are only a few yards difference. Rushing yardage is close. Passing yards, 50 for each team. That's the way the score is. It's 10-7. Wittenberg, there are some breaks in the game, but I think we have...
Took a lead, 7-0, a 1-yard run by Tracy King. In the second quarter, Ithaca came back to tie it up at an 11-yard pass from Doug Benchko to Jim Meyer. And then with 5 seconds remaining in the first half, Mike Dowds out of the game.
All right, Chuck Delaney here handing off to Tracy King. King taking it over the top with a 1-yard plunge and the touchdown. That was set up by the penalty. I don't know if you call it, Vern. Pass interference penalty. Gave him the ball on the 1-yard line. They took it in to go ahead 7-zip.
Then, of course, Ithaca came... tie it up on a touchdown pass. It went from Doug Bonchek, and Jim Meaurer was the receiver.
Yeah, here you see number 16, Doug Benchko, throwing a nice 12-yard touchdown pass to his receiver, Jim Meaurer here. Meaurer takes it in. It's his first TV reception this year.
Jim Meaurer from Benchko, the extra point was good. That tied it up at 7-7. And then Mike Dowds kicked the 34-yard field goal, of course. Hope you're enjoying it. Here's Jarvie. Returns it back to the 20-yard line, 25, 30, and cut down at the 30-yard line. First down and 10. Ithaca. The tackle was made by Mike Dowds, number 76.
Okay, Ithaca gets a chance. Now they're down 10-7, and Doug Benchko brings them out. 3 wide receivers, as we expected all day, Vern. They're going to be opening up their attack, and they have their 3 wide receivers in there.
First down and 10. Benchko will keep it. And he's dragged down from behind the 35-yard line. Joe Govern, number 73, makes the tackle for Wittenberg. Look at it again.
Run pass option here. Benchko, I think, wanted to throw it, made a good decision, turns it up, gets clocked right here. Watch this. Bang. Pays the penalty for getting those yards.
It'll be second down and 5. Just underway, second quarter. You look at Joe Govern, number 73. Split backs. And off right side. John Niccolo. And Dwight Porter, number 55, makes the hit. And that will bring up a third down. Bob Linton has replaced Roger Brown at cornerback. Where's number 36, a sophomore from Orfield, Pennsylvania. There's Dwight Porter, who just made the tackle. Once again, Roger Brown, our report, possible dislocation of his right knee and an ankle injury, injured late in the first half of play. It's third down and 2, Ithaca. 3 wide receiver offense once again. 2 are to the left side, 1 split wide right. Benchko hands it off to Ferrigno, and he appears to have a first down 10. 200-pound junior from Huntington, New York, across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Jeff Manchester, number 49, made the tackle. Key blocked by Chris Hardy, and another Wittenberg player is down at the 40-yard line. Ferrigno for the day now with 42 yards on 10 carries. Looks like Sam Baker, the injured player, senior nose guard from Bucyrus, Ohio. Air Price. The injured player is Sam Baker. Excuse me. Sam Baker, and he is being taken to the locker room. Will be the second player that Wittenberg has lost this afternoon. Roger Brown made that sad trip late in the first half. We're just about set to go back to play. An eerie thing happened during the commercial break. Standing up looking at the folks down in front, several have transistor radios on, and all of a sudden they stood and cheered. And I got to believe that either Alabama or Auburn, one of them scored. Look at the offensive stance that these linemen take. We'll take another look at that in a second, and John Dockery has some comments. There's a pass incomplete, out of bounds. It'll be second down. Jim Duncan, the intended receiver. Saxton was the defensive back covering. John, they go into what amounts to a 4-point stance, don't they, in that offensive line?
And you don't see that often these days, a 4-point stance. It's a throwback to last year when they were strictly a running team.
Watch them as they get down now.
Put their hands down. Most teams use a 3-point stance, especially for pass blocking. That's generally a run blocking technique by the offensive line.
Benchko incomplete for Duncan. Dale Bradford doing the defensive work, and it'll be third down and 10. With your permission, I'm going to sit back down and get closer to the space heater, John.
Okay. Doug Benchko again delivers the ball on the money. A little bit high, certainly catchable by Jim Duncan.
And you saw Bob Linton, number 36, who was also in the defensive area. It'll be third down now. Benchko for the day is 5 out of 14. Goes deep into triple coverage, and what a price Jimmy Duncan paid at the 42-yard line. Hit by John Saxton and Bob Linton. Boy, did he get racked up from behind.
He sure did. Benchko actually threw into a crowd there. There were a lot of defensive backs. He had some receivers open on the other side. You won't see it here, but he looks back, and there's a crowd, and watch number 16 take his shot right there. And he told me before that he wanted a shot like that to make the receivers respect. And that's number 16, John Saxton, the big 6'4" safety that we talked about at the top of the show, Vern.
Here's the kick. Whalen taken short. Ball is knocked down. It's,
look who did it.
Dave Burchard.
And number 47, John Laper. You know, Laper told me most teams will keep a lot of their starters off those special teams. Laper pestered the coaches so much they had to put him back on it. You see the gleam in his eye when he talks about hitting people. He told me he wanted to hit someone on every play.
Did you play special teams, John?
I sure did.
Want to know what I think?
What?
You got to be crazy to do that.
You want to know? You're right, Ben.
Here's a handoff, a fumble, but Wittenberg recovers. That was Buckley. Harry Moss made the tackle at the 41-yard line. It's not for nothing they call them the kamikaze squads.
I know, suicide squads. But you have to do it. I mean, in Division III, you have to have your starters playing on
That's
that
right.
Because, you know, that's an important part of the game, as we know.
2nd down and 5. Wittenberg, slot I formation. Handoff goes to Buckley again. He skips through and picks up the first down plus 4. One of the few times you'll see Laper get caught. Watch.
Yeah, here's Laper moving. All right. He overruns the play slightly, and he's hampered by not a great block, but one when your momentum is taking you that way that'll push you by the hole. So Laper's reactions were so much that side that he actually overran the play.
That block from Wade LaForce, the tiny left guard. Here's Delaney on the roll, has a man in front. That's Ramsey. Ramsey with a block, Delaney with a run. First down at the 35. You had a chance then to see a good downfield open block by Tony Ramsey. Tony Smith finally made the tackle. Ramsey, the co-captain, number 65.
Interesting, number 65 is the only guy on this team with a championship ring from 1975. And this is an all-senior offense, and he was showing it to all the Wittenberg players yesterday, saying, look, we go out and win the Stagg Bowl tomorrow, you'll all have championship rings just like me.
1st and 10. Pitch back to Tracy King. He's knocked down to the 30, and you can hear the pounding from our on-field mic. John Laper, number 47, delivering the blow. Watch the last part of that last play. Tracy King was 61 yards today.
There's the pitch. This is a bread and butter, the option. Tracy King takes it upfield, and he means business when he gets in here. So he gets those extra few yards for you by just taking it upfield. 5.5 yards a carry.
2nd down and 3. Meso Moon in motion wide to the left side. Buckley gets the handoff. Nice blow delivered by Harry Moss, the linebacker, at the 25-yard line. That's close for the first down. See where they spot the ball. It'll be short by about a yard. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 1.
You know, we talk so much about John Laper that sometimes we forget about number 33, Harry Moss, who has 103 tackles this year.
3rd down and 1. Davis goes wide to the left side. You're looking at Chuck Delaney. His backs are in the eye. Pitch out, Tracy King. Buckley misses the block on John Bertino, but Tracy King did pick up the first down. Laper with the tackle.
Bread and butter, just the eye pitch. Buckley leads the play, a block, and watch Laper come in here and finish it off.
Ouch. First down 10 at the 24-yard line. 10-7 game, 10:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Delaney in trouble. Caught and dropped by the nose guard, Don Phillips, a senior from Hamburg, New York. Good penetration all along that defensive front line then by Ithaca. By the way, I alluded to that roar from the fans a while ago. We got a note. Auburn and Alabama playing 25 miles down the road. Auburn fumbled the opening kickoff. Alabama recovered at the 23-yard line. That's the word. That's why they were standing and cheering.
Well, Alabama needs some help, don't they?
If Alabama wins that, of course, they'll go on to the Sugar Bowl, and you'll see that game on ABC. Hand off to Tracy King into the secondary at the 20, the 15, the 14-yard line. Tackle made by Mark Seaman, a sophomore from Johnson City, New York.
You know, you watch Tracy King, and I have to feel for him. Here's a player that was behind the great Davy Merritt for 3 years and has come into his own. Davy Merritt, you may recall, was a great running back for Wittenberg, had a shot with the Buffalo Bills, didn't make it, and is playing pro ball in Canada. But Tracy King had to put up with that for 3 years, and now he's come into his own. He's having a fine day here today.
His last game, power I formation. King again, not much there this time. Door is closed rather rudely by Jimmy Hoffman, number 66, and John Laper again. I think you folks will know his name by the time it's all over.
You know, Davey Merritt told me that he had a great back in Merritt for those 3 years, but in a way it was a drawback having such a great back because he couldn't diversify his offense. It was give the ball to Merritt, give the ball to Merritt. With the result, they didn't have a passing game, and he felt that that's why they lost to Baldwin Wallace right here a year ago in the Stagg Bowl. They're more diversified now.
It's 4th down and 1. Delaney, he's got it. First down at the 12-yard line. Tackle made by Bob Campese, number 10. But Delaney got the first down to keep the drive going.
That's what Davey Maurer said. He said Delaney has to have a good day. And he didn't necessarily mean that he had to break any long runs or complete that many passes, but he had to make good decisions on the option, like right there, taking himself for the first down.
7:53 to go, third quarter. This has been an impressive drive by the Wittenberg Tigers. Meso Moon, fake. Delaney has it. Cuts upfield, fumbles the ball. There's a scramble. Ithaca says it's ours. Officials have not so indicated. Yes, Ithaca recovers inside the 10-yard line. Mike Biondi came up with a pigskin, number 14.
Here's Delaney. He's running a bootleg. He's pulling the guard. You see number 60 leading up. He cuts it back up inside. Just coughs up the ball. And Mike Biondi, number 14, comes up with a recovery. A big break for Ithaca.
Doug Benchko hands it off right side. John Niccolo. Joe Govern makes the tackle, number 73. He's across the 10. Out near the 12-yard line.
Looks like Wittenberg's offensive team might be a little angry. Defensive team might be a little angry at their offense. You see that hitting in there, that gang tackling?
Fumbles thus far. Wittenberg has coughed it up twice, Ithaca once. This one the most costly because Wittenberg was driving, hoping to increase what is now a 3-point lead. 7:05 to go, third quarter, 10-7. Off to Perigno, 1 yard at most, out to the 12. Dale Bradford made the tackle, the senior from Oberlin, Ohio.
Very, very important play, Vern. Third and about 7 yards. Ithaca just got a break, and they have to capitalize on it. If they can't, they give the ball back to Wittenberg in reasonable field position.
Benchko is, excuse me, John, 5 out of 15. Go ahead.
I think Benchko will put it up right here. I think you'll see a throw pattern maybe to Duncan. Possibly Jarvie, number 9, the slot man.
And instead they hand it off to Niccolo.
Surprising call.
Yeah, it really was. Really was. Third down.
Third down and 7. You have to be a little bit surprised on that. It's kind of defensive football, and I guess I was a little surprised. Well, here's Doug Benchko. It's a straight handoff right there to Niccolo. Doesn't make it, and it's defensive football.
Scott Gray and Dale Bradford getting their shoulders together. Dave Whalen's on to punt now, and Wittenberg ought to get this in great field position. Chris Fields waits for it. This is not the best kick that Whalen has gotten off today. It does. Oh, my goodness. Scramble to 43. Ithaca gets it again. I believe that was John Saxton who fumbled the ball. I'm not sure. They're unstacking the bodies at the 43-yard line, so back-to-back fumbles for Wittenberg.
The man upstairs likes Ithaca, it looks. Is that the man who recovered the... Yeah, okay. Chris Hardy.
Chris Hardy got it. It's first down at the 42-yard line. New life for the Ithaca Bombers. They trail 10-7 with 5:40 to go, third quarter. Niccolo gets the handoff, 2 yards after the 45. Jeff Manchester, number 49, makes the tackle.
And Vern, it may surprise you that Ithaca's running the ball, but the reason they're doing it is that Wittenberg has gone to a 4-4 defense. They've put in an extra defensive back because they're worried about the throwing game of Ithaca. And if they give you something, it's the running game when they take out that nose guard and use 4 alignment. So that's what Doug Benchko is trying to do. So far, they haven't executed, but the strategy is the right one.
Second down, 7 yards at the 45-yard line. Ferrigno gets it. Ferrigno's got a bunch. He's got the referee from behind, and he has got a first down at the 43-yard line as Bill Beach makes the tackle.
I want you to answer me this, Vern. Is that statistic on Bob Ferrigno last year over 8 yards a carry? Can that be right? Last year? Here you see Ferrigno, the cutback. He does that so well, cuts back against the grain, and then just keeps pile driving for those extra yards.
First down and 10. Wittenberg's defense now on the field a little longer than they wanted. 3 wide receiver offense. Benchko, right side, incomplete. Tipped in the line of scrimmage. John Dockery's our expert analyst today. First chance that John and I have had a chance to work together. I want you folks who are listening to know what Jimmy Butterfield, the coach at Ithaca, said about John. He says, I'll tell you what, we've been on television 3 times, and I've never seen a man do his homework like John Dockery. He's talked with all the players. John, I think the same thing. You're doing a fine job.
Well, thank you.
There's a look at John Dockery in his office. See, you didn't even know. They popped you on camera. Second down and 10. Benchko still has it. Going to the right side. Stiff arm. Still running. First down at the 32. How many times do you see it happen, right? It's all going Wittenberg's way. 2 fumbles, and boy, all of a sudden, here comes Ithaca.
Old Mr. Momentum. Here it is. Interesting play. It's actually a quarterback counter draw keeper straight on. He's a big quarterback, 6'3", 200 pounds. And when he gets in the open field with those long legs, he can make some yardage.
First down and 10. They go back to the 5-2 defense. Well, they got 4 down linemen. Beg your pardon. Here's the handoff. Niccolo, right side. He's down at the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Jeff Manchester, number 49. Second down, he picked up a quick 5.
Leading rusher this year, John Niccolo. We've been talking so much about Ferrigno. Sometimes we forget about number 22. 2 fine backs. Gives him nice balance in that backfield.
2 wide receivers come to the left side. 1 goes to the right side. It's second down. Well, officially, they're calling it 6. Bill George over the ball. Benchko hands it off to Niccolo. He runs into a traffic jam at the 25-yard line. Tackle led by Dwight Porter, number 55, a sophomore from Cincinnati.
Vern, you mentioned Jim Butterfield before. Did he tell you that he tried to recruit me when he was at Colgate? Imagine the success he would have had he gotten me to go to Colgate.
There you go.
Defensive backs never had problems with egos.
Third down. Key play now for both these ball clubs. 3rd and 6. Benchko, counter option. He's still got it. He's got a first down inside the 20.
How many times have you seen it, Vern? I mean, you find something that works and you go back to it. He just ran that play three or four plays ago. It was successful. This time he's got Ferrigno as an option man if he wants him. He doesn't want him. He makes a good inside-outside move and picks up that first down. Doug Benchko is doing it all himself.
Chris Hardy led the way around with a block. Benchko, 8 carries for 35 yards now. First down at the 18. Benchko calling out the line of scrimmage. Comes left, caught. Still hasn't time. And it is tipped by John Saxton at the line of scrimmage.
And almost intercepted. It would have been Katie bar the door. Saxton would be still running.
Jim Meyer, the intended receiver. Look at it again.
This is just a combination pattern with the 2 wide receivers. He gets a little pressure there and doesn't read the defensive backfield well. You see Saxton there. Oh my goodness, he had open field all the way to the goal line.
Saxton has 17 interceptions in his career at Wittenberg. Didn't get that one. It's 2nd and 10. Blitz is coming. They pop it across the middle.
Beautiful! Beautiful, Vern. I mean, you see the blitz. There are some things you can do, one of which is a slant to your out receiver, the quick slant, and that's what he did to Jim Duncan, last week, and here you see it. Beautiful read, a lot of blitz. You see it up the middle, pressure, delivers the ball on the line. Duncan makes the good reception. They won last week on that same play. They came from behind for a touchdown, put them ahead against Carnegie Mellon.
That was with 31 seconds to go. Here's the handoff with Ferrigno, and he does not get the touchdown. He's down about the 1-yard line.
You ever get the feeling that a quarterback catches fire? It feels that way, that Doug Benchko all of a sudden said, okay, things are going right, the confidence swells, and there's nothing you can do wrong. That's the feeling I have about him now.
He's got his team on the edge on the verge of going in front for the first time today. Again, the 3 wide receiver offense, even down in the goal line. Benchko, long count, quarterback keeper, touchdown. Bill George, senior from Glens Falls, New York, opened up the hole on the left side. He's the center. Chris Hardy was also there. And Benchko goes in for the touchdown to put Ithaca on top.
Here it is, Benchko just on the quarterback. Good block by Bill George. Takes it in for the score, puts him ahead.
Tom Darling on to try and have the extra point. Snap is back, it's good. Kick is up, it's good.
We've been talking so much about Doug Benchko, and you would think that Ithaca's 10-2 coming in, that everything has been his way this year. It hasn't. They have a second quarterback, Doug DeCaro, who's played a lot of time, and there's been a lot of confusion in quarterback. And Doug Benchko has won the job and has done really well today. And we'll be back right after this.
From the legend that is Nikon comes the new Nikon EM.
On the sideline, the young defensive back who was injured in the first half, Roger Brown, dislocated knee, and he is wearing an air splint, that plastic splint. They inflate with air and keep the leg immobile. Ithaca has gone on top 14-10, their first lead of the ball game. And it was a drive ignited by 2 fumbles, not just 1 but 2. Wittenberg was moving, had a first down inside the 10-yard line, fumbled, held, Ithaca punted, another fumble, Ithaca recovered. Meso moves. Avoids the helmet-high tackle, and he is knocked down at the 32-yard line. Don Phillips made the stop. We've got 1:27 remaining in the third quarter, 11-play drive for 58 yards, and they ran off 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Vern, here's where we find out a little bit about the character of the Wittenberg team. Those seniors have never lost a home game. They've won 36 straight. They're used to winning.
And it's an all-senior bunch. Handoff, Tracy King. Flag is down on the offensive line of scrimmage, thrown by the umpire. John Bertino finally makes the tackle. We may get a holding call. 1:22 remaining, third quarter. Half the distance. Offensive holding. It'll be first down again.
You get the distinctive feeling that things aren't going the way Wittenberg would like them to go. The breaks have been going against them here. They're going to have to come up with a big play to turn that kind of momentum around.
Undefeated, 11-0. Delaney doesn't like the football. I heard him say bum ball.
Bum ball. Balloon ball.
Coming up next, Army versus Navy. Navy favored to win that game, and if they do, they'll tie the series that began some 80 years ago, 90 years ago. Here's the call. Handoff goes to Skip Buckley. Picks up a quick 6. Harry Moss made the tackle, along with Don Phillips. Auburn has taken a 3-0 lead over Alabama.
Watch Harry Moss here, Vern. Plays off a blocker. He's one of those linebackers that can keep people away from himself. The way you're supposed to, they teach you to keep those offensive blockers away from you. Play off them and make the tackle. Harry Moss can do that kind of thing.
Second down, 16. Pitch out to Tracy King. Buckley gets a bit of a block of Bertino, but a nice play by Bertino.
Great play by John Bertino. Cornerback reads that sweep. He has to decide now that he's coming. If he hesitates at all, the blockers are on him, and the play is successful. Watch Bertino come underneath the blocker here and sacrifice his body to trip up number 21, Tracy King. Look at that. He's a transfer student, by the way, from RIT. So Ithaca is benefiting from that transfer.
Tom Rogers, whoops. That's the end of the third quarter. Time.
Seeking the epitome of elegance. You're invited to test.
Okay. As we start the final quarter, the senior quarterback for Wittenberg, Chuck Delaney, has come to the bench. He has a minor sprained left ankle. Should be able to go back in, but he will sit out at least this one play, John Dockery. And Kirby Thompson, who's not played much at all, is in the lineup now, number 11. Kirby Thompson, 9 of 20 for the year, 93 yards. That's a pretty good indication he hasn't seen a whole lot of action. Third down. He keeps it, cuts it upfield, and Mike Biondi pops him up near the helmet. At the 33-yard line, it'll be fourth down. Mark Seaman was also in the area, and Tony Smith. There's Mike Biondi.
Interesting situation for number 11, Kirby Thompson. Here he is. He calls his own number. Wants to get right in the action. I mean, he has a chance here to either be a hero or a goat. Depending on his personality, he'll take advantage of it, or else he'll be embarrassed.
Dave Miller on the punt. Here's the kick. Fair catch called by Jimmy Duncan at the 36-yard line. Ithaca gets the ball back, and they've got 64 yards to go if they want to punch it. Chuck Delaney on the sideline. They're working on that left ankle. He'll have at least a series of downs to rest and hopefully get that thing mending. 3 wide receiver offense for Ithaca again. And Benchko will throw. Comes across the middle of the Duncan. And he's hit by Bob Linton up at the 47-yard line, but it looks like he might have enough for the first down. That's slant-in pattern once again.
Duncan makes this play. See, the ball is thrown behind him here. Duncan reaches back, catches it, spins around, and continues on for some more yardage. That's one you thank your wide receiver for if you're a quarterback.
First down and 10. 47-yard line. Ferrigno has the handoff, and he's inside Wittenberg country at the 48. Knocked down at that spot.
You know, you were talking about Ferrigno being involved in Japanese gardening before. Take a guess what Doug Benchko does for a hobby.
What's that?
He's a magician.
Oh, for God.
He's got these huge hands, and he's excellent with card tricks. I have a story for you after this.
You saw the third quarter statistics at second down and 5. Ithaca's got the ball at the 48-yard line. Ferrigno to the 45-yard line, 2 yards short of the first down.
And the stakes were that they wouldn't run sprints that day. Sure enough, Benchko did the trick. Butterfield didn't get it, and they got out of gassers that day. The whole team got out of it.
Third and 2. Blitz is on again. He goes deep incomplete. And Benchko really upset with himself because he had Duncan open. Bob Linton was in man-for-man coverage deep. There's Jim Butterfield on the sideline. 51, 11, and 1.
Interesting story on Jim Butterfield. He told me that he decided that he wanted to be a coach when he was 11 years old, influenced by a phys ed and teacher and a coach that he had, and feels that this is what he wants to do in his life. He wants to influence young men right here, and he's certainly done a wonderful job on it.
Dave Whalen on the punt. He's done a good job today. Pressure, not blocked. Chris Fields comes up, makes the catch at the 19-yard line.
Players, and they're going to be coaches, and they're going to influence young men. It's going to be that kind of a multiplier effect. So these gentlemen are having a profound influence on what happens to young men and the future.
Here's Delaney going deep for Davis. Davis makes the catch, but he was out of bounds. Delaney back in there. Davis made the catch, but he caught it out of bounds. Take a look at it again.
Delaney's back in there. I mean, this is a championship game. If you have a slightly sprained ankle, you come back. And he does come back and throws the ball here to Cliff Davis, his favorite wide receiver. And the question is whether Davis, his own momentum took him out of bounds, or whether the defensive back took him out of bounds. Apparently, the referee felt it was the defensive back.
Mike Biondi made the tackle. Shadows there kind of hampered our view of it. So it'll be second down and 10. Maso Moon in motion wide to the right side. Delaney pitches back to Tracy King. Drives around the corner, picks up 3 yards. That's about all she wrote as Jimmy Hoffman makes the tackle. I want to amplify on what you said. To me, one of the great things about, you can call it small college football, Division III football, is that one-to-one relationship between the coach and the athlete. Really a kind of a special thing.
And I talked to both coaches, and their doors are open for an athlete with a problem. They come in, everything stops when someone walks into Jim Butterfield's office, and that's the way it should be, because coaches are a profound influence on athletes.
Third down. Delaney wants to throw. Has plenty of time. Nobody open. He'll put it on his hip and run. And he has caught it, dropped to the 27-yard line. It'll be a 4th down. Of course, you went to Harvard, which is not a football factory, needless to say. The emphasis is on the education. I graduated from a small school at Texas Lutheran. I was talking to Jim Butterfield yesterday and told him that. He says, well, do you happen to know a guy named Dr. Bill Cook, who's the chairman of our health department? I said, no, heavens, yes. He was our athletic director at Texas Lutheran. I said, that's right. Well, he's here. So I saw Dr. Cook a while ago. Talked to Dave Maurer at Wittenberg, told him the same story. He says, you happen to know Erno Dahl? I said, he was the most influential prof I had at TLC. He said, well, he was our provost. So I've got an association with both schools through knowledge of those men. There's Sam Baker, the nose guard, number 53, the second player injured, wearing number 48 in somebody else's jacket. But that is Sam Baker. There's Chuck Delaney working on that injured ankle. Ithaca's got the ball at their own 43-yard line. First down and 10. Benchko, the quarterback, has gone the distance. We've not seen Doug DeCar. Benchko will throw. Bumps once, goes deep, left side, into double coverage, intercepted by John Saxton. Saxton at the 30, the 35, the 40. Coming to his left, and he is cut down at the 42-yard line. First interception of the game. That's his 6th of the year. And there is a flag back to the 28-yard line.
That's what John Saxton does the best. We took 6'4", a lot of range around there, plays center field, read the quarterback well, and went and intercepted that ball. Let's take a look at it again, Vern. John Saxton. All right, Benchko here will, little play action, pumps, wants to go downtown. What he doesn't see is John Saxton reading the pump and coming over to help out the cornerback and make that play. Good run afterwards, too. Just shucks off that wide receiver like a fly on his back.
But the clipping call, very costly in terms of field position. They lost 27 yards from the 42 back to the 15. First down and 10. Got that rotten football in there again. I want to do it. Somebody throw that thing in the lake. Get rid of it.
In the old days, Oakland used to send in deflated footballs to when I played with the Jets against the Jets.
Al Davis wouldn't do a thing like that, would he? Here's Skip Buckley. You know, there are rumors that they also water down the field out there.
Had knee trouble, just ran the ball well. Somehow the involvement and the intensity is the best anesthesia you can get for your pain. A day like today is exciting.
Handoff right side. Goes to Buckley once again. Mesa 0.3-0. Stedman Shealy to Keith Poe for the touchdown. 7-3. Alabama leads it. Roll out. Delaney gets a good block from Buckley. He's up and out of bounds at the 30-yard line for the first down. You saw a good open field block by number 33, Skip Buckley, on that play.
They need Skip Buckley. He's probably their best blocking back. He makes the yardage for King. And here he helps Chuck Delaney get yardage also. Look at that score. Pittsburgh, 23. Penn State, 14. I can hear Joe Paterno now.
Oh, yeah. That would be the 4th defeat for Penn State if they lose it. And that is really unusual at that school. Here's Tracy King coming to the short side of the field. And he is cut down by Bill Rosecrans, junior from Camillus, New York, number 58.
Oh, yeah, number 58. You know, I know his brother. He was a Penn State linebacker, Rosecrans' brother. Here's a quick pitch, their bread and butter to Tracy King. And watch Rosecrans come in here and make the tackle. He's done that so many times. His brother was a wild man linebacker at Penn State. I think that family has a little bit of intensity football-wise in them.
Vanderbilt still leading Tennessee. At one point it was 10-0, now 10-7 in the third quarter. It's second down and 10. Delaney has 2 wide receivers wide right. 14-10 ball game. Delaney flips it out to Tracy King. He finally controls it and does not pick up any yardage as Don Phillips goes over to level it. It'll be 3rd and 10. Fine inside defense. Tony Smith, number 46, also right there.
He's looking downfield, Buckley. Doesn't see anyone. Tries his safety. Dangerous because that's a lateral. King makes the catch, but maybe he wishes he didn't.
It'll be 3rd and 10. Where do you go, John?
Put it up. You have to put it up.
Cliff Davis and Meso Moon.
You go to Meso Moon.
Okay.
Either one. Cliff Davis, Meso Moon.
Moon is in the slot. Here's Delaney on the roll. Cliff Davis. Great catch at the 46-yard line, first down.
Cliff Davis and Chuck Delaney have been playing for 4 years together, and they're the best of buddies, and somehow that kind of understanding of one another works as well as practicing patterns. I mean, they just know where they're going to be. Delaney delivers the ball with good zip. Davis makes a heck of a catch, an important catch, 3rd and long.
First down 10 with 8:11 to go in this game. That clock is becoming a factor. 14-10 the ball game. Delaney will throw. Now he'll run. Looks for blockers. Nice move at the 50 and cut down at the 47-yard line. What a move he made to get around Bill Rosecrans, number 58.
You have to like Chuck Delaney. Sitting on the bench a few minutes ago, his leg is bothering him, his ankle is bothering him. Here he rolls out, can't find anybody. Breaks back, and here's where all the blockers set up. You see those blue jerseys going, and they move on Rosecrans. Oh, beautiful.
Linehammer finally made the tackle. It's 2nd down and 2. Rosecrans gets even.
Rosecrans remembered that last fake, and where is Tracy King?
Tracy King is on the bench. He's another injured player.
This is a wise decision here. Rosecrans was just coming on the blitz, had Delaney, and it's just as well that he didn't pitch the ball. It might have been a fumble.
Tracy King limping on the bench. Bill Rosecrans with the last tackle. Tom Rogers is in there now, number 24. It's 3rd down and 5. Delaney looks left. On his hip, stunning across the middle of the line at the 40. First down at the 39-yard line. John Laper makes the tackle. He was wide open right across the middle.
Good play. Really, watch the faking here. Fakes, back sets up. It's just a little bit of a delay right over the middle. Makes good yardage.
6:37 to go in the game. 14-10. Wittenberg trails Ithaca. This is only the 2nd impressive drive they have had. There's Tracy King. Looks like it might be a hamstring or his right thigh. Pitch out to Tom Rogers. Cuts upfield. Backs down to the 37-yard line. First of 2 games this afternoon. This Division III National Championship coming up next. Army versus Navy. 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Al Michaels and crew standing by for that one, along with Frank Royals. Our ABC personnel up there. Army versus Navy, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. 45 minutes from now. 2nd down and 7. 5:55 to go. Meso Moon in motion, wide right. Delaney back to throw across the middle. He had a one-hopper to Cliff Davis, who was open. Davis was open at the 25. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Not only was Davis open, but number 88, the tight end, who isn't really that much of a part of their offense, was also open on a corner pattern. Sometimes teams forget about certain receivers, and Wittenberg does not go to the tight end. Dave Maurer on the sideline looking a little worried about now.
Maurer, here's Delaney back to throw. 4-man rush. He goes left. One hopper to Davis, who was open again. It'll be 4th down.
You have to wonder if his leg is bothering him a little bit. He didn't set up very well, and he just tried to throw across his body with his arm and didn't have anything on the ball.
Only 9 out of 21. They'll go for it. The field goal won't help them. Well, they're out of field goal range anyway. But with 5 minutes and 42 seconds remaining on the clock, this may be the season right here. 4th down and 7 at the 37, and they trail by 4, and here comes Wittenberg.
The moment of truth, William.
Delaney has a man open. Meso Moon, first down.
We have a game on our hands. What a clutch 4th down completion. Meso Moon has been awful quiet. John Bertino slipped slightly on the play. Here's Delaney rolling out. Bertino, you can't see it, slips a little bit, recovers, but not in time. Mayso Moon makes the catch with the first down.
Once again, John, Delaney really didn't put any body into that pass at all. It was all with his arm. 11 touchdowns passing, 14 touchdowns rushing. He just came up with a clutch fourth down play. Mayso moves, cuts upfield, weaves through traffic, knocked down at the 21. Jimmy Hoffman made the tackle, 5:27 remaining in the game.
Interesting adjustment with Tracy King out of there. They're going to Mayso Moon a little bit more on the run and on the pass. Mayso Moon is an excellent runner. He's a tailback at one time.
Second down and 5, 14-10 the game, 5:12 to go. Here come the Tigers of Wittenberg. Ithaca digging in now. The ball at the 22-yard line. Slot I formation, left side, Moon in motion. Pitch out to Tom Rogers. Cuts inside the 20 and is down to 16. He's got a first down and 10.
Tom Rogers getting his chance. He's a junior, 5'10", 170 pounds. He's only carried 23 times for 98 yards, so this is a big day for this junior. He's been playing behind Tracy King, just the way Tracy King played behind Davy Merritt. It's nice to see other people get an opportunity. And there, Tracy King on the sidelines.
Wittenberg first and 10 at the 16. 4:43 to go. Moon in motion. Buckley up the middle to the 10, to the 7-yard line. Great effort by Skip Buckley.
Skip Buckley, you think that they want to win this game? Did you see Skip Buckley on this play? Makes half of it on his own. You'll see him get hit here in a moment. Watch his spin. And that's with a knee that's bothering him. Look at him put his hand down and go spin for that extra yardage.
A great block in that offensive line from number 74, Jim Gray, who got him up the middle. Timeout has been called by Ithaca. Next Saturday, Wide World of Sports, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. World Cup Boxing Championships and the World Gymnastic Championships from Fort Worth, Texas. Jim McKay, Gordon Maddox, and Kathy Rigby will be at the Tarrant County Convention Center in Fort Worth, about 26 miles from my hometown of Colleyville. You have a chance to see them next week. That's going on, and you'll see that next Saturday. We've got a second down and 2 at the 8-yard line. Motion in the offensive line, the right guard move. That's Tony Ramsey, the senior. That'll cost him 5 yards. And John Dockery, it seems to me that apparently Wittenberg has really had problems inside the 10-yard line and pushing that thing in.
Vern, you're exactly right, and Dave Maurer told me that he was a little bit worried when they limit the field on his team. They've had trouble. They don't have an overpowering offensive line. They rely on finesse and blocking technique to score and to move the ball. But in close, they've had their problems. So in a way, that penalty may be a blessing in disguise to give more room to run and throw the ball, run that option.
We'll see what happens now on second down and 8. 2 wide receivers come left side. The tight end, Dave Frazier, is tight to the right. Delaney under his center, Mark Short. Hands it off to Rogers. No, fumble. Ithaca's got the ball, and they're dancing on the sidelines, and they're jumping up and down in Ithaca, New York. Bill Bianco, number 43, comes up with the fumble recovery. The key turnover of the game, and it might have come down to that. There's timeout on the field, 14-10 still the score. Here's the play, John Dockery.
Chuck Delaney on a sprint draw, gives to Tom Rogers. Rogers gets popped. The ball comes out. You see the helmet hit the ball, and that's Phil Bianco, big play man for them. Number 43 comes up with the recovery. You know, they talked about Bianco and said he has the potential to be one of the best players they've ever had at Ithaca if he learns discipline. Super athlete.
Give equal credit to Jimmy Hoffman, number 66, who made the hit that forced the fumble. It's first down and 10 with 4:06 to go. Benchko back in at quarterback, is gone the entire ball game. Hands it off, right side, goes to Ferrigno, 1 or 2 yards. Mike Dowds makes the tackle.
Interesting situation, Vern. What do you do down here? You have the lead 14-10. You have the ball on your own 18-yard line. Do you go into your shell, try and run out the clock, knowing that the defense is going to be stacking, or do you open it up and throw it?
If I'm the guy, I open it up. I try and get out of there. But then I'm sitting up here. Benchko, you saw the graphic on turnovers. 4 fumbles for Wittenberg now this afternoon. Here's the handoff that goes to John Niccolo and Dale Bradford. Let's recap now. Keep in mind that on the opening drive, Wittenberg had a first down inside the 10-yard line when Delaney fumbled. That cost them a possible touchdown. They held, there was a punt, they fumbled and lost on the punt. And then they lost the key one down here at the 8-yard line. Next Saturday, Division I semifinal of the Division II Championship, Lehigh versus Murray State. One of the games you'll see live, 1:30 Eastern time next Saturday. 3rd down and 5. Benchko. Delay of game will cost them 5 yards. 14-3 in the second quarter. It's 3rd down at 11. Here's another big one. Benchko slips, comes right, caught it, drops the cap. Jeff Manchester and Joe Governor.
Division III champions, and they're not about to give it up just because they're down with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game.
Chris Fields will return. Dave Whalen's punt. The clock is running. Here's the kick. It's a good one, but it's inside the 50. Fields comes left. Bertino knocks him. No, it's not Bertino. Fred Yapel, number 17. Sugar Bowl, December 28th. Michigan versus North Carolina. Sugar Bowl. We'll see. Don't know that one yet. It depends on what happens today. Here's Delaney, right side. Man open. Tip. Tony Smith knocked it down. Senior from Poughkeepsie, New York.
Great play by Tony Smith there, knocked that ball down. He has 4 interceptions this year, almost had another one, and he's been really a pleasant surprise for that defensive team of Ithaca.
2nd down and 10. Excuse me, John.
Tracy King still out. Must be a serious pull.
2:06 remaining in the game. Dave Maurer prowling the sidelines. 14-10. Now they got the rotten football back in there again. Somebody put a...
Can score.
Mason Moon in motion wide to the right side. Delaney rolls out, being chased, lets it go. No, flag is thrown, intentional grounding. Don Phillips had him wrapped up. I think it's going to be intentional grounding. Let's see. Yep, lost him down. All the way back to the 35. Before we get off the air, I want to thank both Neil Hartman and Barry Sachs from Ithaca College. They've split the spotting chores for Ithaca. Tom Hathaway, who's been spotting Wittenberg. He's from the Ohio Conference. Thank you, fellas. And my young brother Tom made the trip in from Dallas to keep stats today. Here's Delaney, pitching it back to Rogers, trying to turn the corner, caught and dropped at the 32-yard line. Mark Seaman, number 48. John Bertino, number 7. 1:49 to go. It'll be 4th down at 26. And timeout has been called by Wittenberg. Talk it over. Well, what plays do you have in your repertoire for 4th and 26?
Of his athletes. And it was tough to pick. I just felt it in my gut that Ithaca was ready today.
4th and 26, and here it goes. Don Phillips, number 31. Senior from Hamburg, New York. And lights are out. Ithaca gets it back with a 14-10 lead, and they've got 1:39 to kill. And Wittenberg has only 1 timeout left.
Not much you can do. Everyone in the stadium knew he was going to throw the ball. The pass rush comes. He does everything he can to get rid of it for an incompletion.
Ithaca 10-2 for the year. Wittenberg 11-0. Ithaca beaten by Wittenberg 6-3 last year. Hand off to Ferrigno. They're going to just try and run out the clock. 1:34 remaining.
The Ithaca team is going to be staying down tonight. Coach Jim Butterfield told me that he wanted to give his boys a little bit of a chance to celebrate. Might have shown a little confidence, huh, before the game.
Yeah. 2nd down and 9. Butterfield, hopeful of winning his first national championship. 1:16. Wittenberg is out of timeouts. Beg your pardon. They cannot kill the clock. There's Doug Benchko. Got the nod, went the distance. He and Doug Dakar have split time most of the year, but we've not seen Dakar at all today. Dakar is a junior. Benchko, his final game.
Dakar has a couple of years of eligibility left. We'll see a lot of him in the future for Ithaca.
Manchester makes the tackle on John Nicolo. We are in the final 50 seconds of the game. Now, Wittenberg did have one.
Has the blimp arrived yet?
And the helicopter will be here shortly for the getaway, yeah. I want you to do your Meredith impersonation and sing. 3rd down and 5. 2 wide receivers right side. 53 seconds to go, 3rd and 5. Benchko hands it off to Ferrigno. He does not get the first down. It'll be 4th and 2, but that clock's still unraveling. Now they will have to run one more play. 45 seconds remaining, so they can waste 25 of those seconds. And timeout has been called. Now the clock stops on a change of possession if they do not get the first down. Hand off, Ferrigno, jammed up, he got the 1st and 10, it's all over. He got the first down at 10. John Nicolo celebrating in the background. That does it. 34 seconds to go. They'll have to run one more play, but they got the first down at the 22. John Laper, winding up his career, probably will make the All-American squad to be announced this weekend. Jim Butterfield, marvelous man. His mom and dad in their 80s are here from Dallas, Texas to watch this game. Watch their son win his first. That's Chuck Kerr, the athletic director, with him. And we've got 9 seconds remaining. Now delay of game call. And they'll mark off 5 incidental yards. Delay of game against Ithaca. 1975. Wittenberg 28, Ithaca 0. 1978, Wittenberg 6, Ithaca 3. They're going to make up for it in 9 more seconds. There's Benchko falling down. And the celebration will take place now as the 1979 Division III National Champions, and Jimmy Butterfield gets the ride off the field. What a great moment for any coach. And a deserved ride it is for Jim Butterfield. Dave Maurer. Unfortunately, there's got to be that picture to complement the other one in any athletic encounter. But a class individual comes across. He's looking for Jimmy Butterfield, and they will shake hands and embrace, and there's a very poignant scene right there. Dave Maurer and Jim Butterfield talking it over. They got exactly what they hoped for today, and that was a tremendously competitive game between both ball clubs. But Ithaca, the 1979 Division III National Champions.
Good. Now I can go to bed. Wait a minute. I want to give you your gift rope.
3 turnovers, particularly 3 fumbles in the for the Ithaca College Bombers. Here's Doug Benchko, the quarterback. Under Bill George, his center. Quarterback sneak, 1 yard. Gets the block from George. Goes across from the 1-yard line. And that was the touchdown that put Ithaca College on top for the first time today. And they held on to that 4-point lead. Wound up winning it by a score of 14-10. John Dockery is standing by down on the field. He's got Doug Benchko, the quarterback, and Jimmy Butterfield, the head coach. We'll be back to talk with both the coach. Ithaca wins the national championship. And let's take a look at a few other scores right now on the Prudential College scoreboard. Elsewhere in college football, and the second colleague, John Dockery, he's standing by with Jimmy Butterfield and Doug Benchko. John?
Thank you, Carl. I'm down the sideline. Coach, how do you feel? Show me what you have there, first of all.
This is answer to every prayer, every dream a coach could have. And the kids did a great job.
You just told me a moment ago, and I got a little worried that you felt so happy that you could have even kissed me.
Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, John. But obviously, we're elated. This is a first for our college to win a national championship, and the kids were just absolutely super. I don't know how else to explain it.
This just didn't happen today. Remember, before we talked about the goals that you set a long time ago. And what was that goal?
Well, John, we set goals all year for every year and for individuals and so forth and for team. And this was one of our goals, that we wanted to be here and we wanted to win it all.
What did you think the turning point of the game was?
John, right now I'm in such a daze that I can't even remember what it might be. I just couldn't answer your question. I'm not sure.
Let's talk to Doug Benchko. Doug, I thought that in the third quarter you caught fire and just swelled with confidence and did everything right. Did you feel that?
Well, I was very confident going in the first half. I don't think it was anything in the third quarter, especially. The first half we were throwing the ball real well. We were getting a couple incompletes, dropping the ball, but I knew if we just kept on plugging, we put it all together.
You certainly put it all together. I thought you started running the ball a little better yourself. Of course, Wittenberg gave you the ball back a couple of times on fumbles, and that was part of the story. Your defense played pretty well also.
Oh, geez, that defense was phenomenal all year long. Defense has been stopping them. We stopped them twice down the goal line, right at the end of the game, and then in the first half. And if you don't stop them there, we would have lost the game. You got to give the game to the defense. They played a phenomenal game.
You know, Coach, before the game, I watched your team, and I thought that, you know, everything was very quiet. It was a very business-like approach, and I know you talked about it, but I saw the team come out today, and I direct this to both of you gentlemen. I thought I saw a burst of emotion, and that's when I felt today might be the day for the Ithaca Bombers.
Well, there was emotion there, John, no question about it. The kids were emotional. They were ready mentally in every single way, but we did come down here, and we had described it as a business trip because we had been here before and been so elated that we were here that we sometimes might have forgotten what we were here for, and our whole playoff series has been with that thought in mind. We're here for business. We have one goal. There's only one thing that we want, and that's to win it all. And the kids were very businesslike and went about their job and did it.
Was it, Doug, as businesslike as it seemed to the outsiders, or was there something bubbling underneath the surface?
Oh, geez, John, if you could have been in our meeting last night and saw the emotion of that team. Billy George gave one of his great speeches, and the guys went crazy, so I know we were really emotional. We try to think of it as business, but it gets tough sometimes when you're so excited and stuff.
I take it there won't be a curfew tonight. What are you going to do?
I don't know for sure right now. Geez, I think I'm going to get loaded.
You're going to get loaded. That's all right, Coach?
Listen, all I want them to do is enjoy themselves tonight, but yet I want them to have this same class that they've had as a team forever.
Congratulations to you both. Terrific win. Congratulations on the Division III Championship. Vern, back up to you.
Okay, John, thank you very much, and you stand.
Teach and coach football with perspective, and I think that epitomizes what Division III is about.
Well, this is a great honor for us because, as I told Dave, I think he's the best team in the country year after year, and for us to be able to beat the best is a great honor for us.
And he said the same about your team, that you were a fine football team, and losing to you certainly wasn't a disgrace.
Not at all. I'm repeating myself, but if I have to lose to someone, I'd just soon lose to that gentleman as anybody. Our kids play the game. They play with enthusiasm. And I think this is what Division III football is all about. And I couldn't be more proud of my football team. I'd be a little happier if the outcome had been a little different. But once again, it's Ithaca's day, it's Jimmy's day, and we salute him.
I think there might be a chance that you gentlemen might be returning this direction very soon again. I know you're graduating 22 seniors. What kind of a club will you have next year?
That's going to be a problem for us, John. That's exceptional for us to have 22 seniors. Next year we'll have to coach them. And we won't be as competitive as we have been, we know that, but we'll have some fine football players returning.
Jim, I sense a smile whenever I talk to you and we talk about the Ithaca team. I sensed that before the game today, that you felt you really had a shot at this great undefeated Wittenberg team.
Well, the thing about this club, John, is that they seem to have risen to the occasion so many times this year, and this is a very hard team to tell about. As Dave can tell from coaching, sometimes teams are hard to read. This has been a very hard team to read, but they've always been there when the going got the toughest, and I felt good about today, as good as you can feel when you have to play Wittenberg.